shape one off to the right of Ruapehu is Ngāhui, and then Konghiro off to the right of Ngāhui. And it also happens to be the home to the two biggest commercial snow skiing fields in the North Island. One of those on the northern slopes at Whakapapa, and the other one on the southern side at Turoa. Last time Ruapehu erupted was in 1996.
This lake goes for 40 kilometers in one direction.
Now in the distance is Taupo Island. That's actually an ancient burial ground of the Tūwharetoa tribe, the predominant Maori tribe in the Taupo area. For centuries, chiefs have been buried on the island, so it is a very sacred area for the Tūwharetoa and its tapu. Landing on the island is strictly prohibited. Another 22 kilometres of lake beyond. Looks like an island, a shoe-shaped island off to the right of Taupo is in fact the Moari Peninsula. Globe. Both the Chinese and the Greeks record that episode in their history. Chinese referring to it as the Days of Darkness. Whare meaning house, and waka meaning boat or canoe. Whare Waka Point. Now the founding chief of the Tūwharetoa some 700 or 800 years ago, and travelled down to the southern end of the Pacific and found the North Island of New Zealand. Taupo and his people spent a short time in the coastal Bay of Plenty area of Makatu before venturing further inland to the south and discovered Lake Taupo. This is where they decide to make their home permanent. Now the Maori carvings that we're going to be viewing before too long this afternoon, the dominant feature is a 14-metre high carving of a face, and that face is that of Ngātaruirangi. Now there are a couple of abstract items have been added to the face, but most of the detail that you will be viewing on that carving is in fact the facial tattoo that Ngātaruirangi wore as a living being, warrior and chief. On our right hand side, known as the Rangatira Point, and travel a short distance past there and then turn right down into Mine Bay. That is the home of the Maori carvings. And we'll view those, we'll have a good chance to get up pretty close and personal with those. And we'll travel a little bit further around and get into quite an interesting little bay, which is seismically one of the most active areas still around, either in or around Lake Taupo. Bluffs on the far side of the lake from where we are, directly ahead of us. That is the Karangatia Bluff. And from where we are on the lake right now, that is 22 kilometres up ahead of us. Off to the right of the Karangatia is the area known as the Western Bays, further away again. Now Now, as we get up adjacent to Rangatira Point on our right hand side, just keep an eye out and you'll start to see some houses coming into view. They're up on the hillside and amongst the bush there. Now, they are part of an exclusive residential subdivision called La Point. And although they are accessible by road, it is for the residents and their guests only. So there's no access to the general public. The subdivision sits behind electronic security gates. They have their own helicopter pad there, and they also have 2 boat launching ramps for their exclusive use. We're starting to form Lake Taupo well over 30,000 years ago. Inside now, we're going to turn down into Mine Bay, and the carvings are situated on the cliffs down to our right hand side.
Maori carvings coming up.
Connection to the Tūwhare tour. So we'll have plenty of time to view, so those who do want to get out onto the foredeck, do so, and maybe rotate if there's a few more want to get there and there's no room. And then we'll turn the boat around and we'll reverse it.
The Maori rock carvings. Now these were started in 1976 by a guy called Matahi Brightwell and his cousin John O'Randall. Now their grandmother had the idea to do the carving, and it tells the tale of their ancestor Ngātirurangi. Now Ngātirurangi was a great navigator and explorer, and he actually led the third rocker, or canoe, up from Hawaii around 800 or 900 years ago. They landed on the coast of Makatu and travelled into Rotorua where they settled. And Ngātirurangi, after getting a taste of this beautiful country, decided that he wanted to see more. So he gathered a small team of people together and came further inland. Once he saw Lake Taupo and the mountains in the background, he was so taken by what he saw that he decided to call this home. Sorry guys, I just want to keep the doorway clear just so people can get in and out. That'd be great, thanks. Now not only was Ngātirurangi an explorer, he was also a high priest. So if you look at the main carving there, you'll notice a central line that runs through the middle of his face, up to the hairpiece or the top knot. And just below that top knot there's a koro pattern in the forehead. Now that koro pattern is what's called the third eye. So that was his eye into the spiritual realm. Now he was such a powerful high priest that it said he could speak to both men and the gods. Down the bottom he's got the two mouths, one for the gods and the other for the mortal man. Each line that's on his face there is actually the same tattoo or moko that he had while he was alive. And that tells his genealogy or his whakapapa. So on the left hand side there you have his father's history and the right hand side tells his mother's. Now just off to the left hand side of that main carving there is a collection of others. There's around about 25 of them there. One of the more noticeable ones is the lizard-like creature that's perched on the rock at the front. Now that lizard is what we call a taniwha. Taniwha are guardians of lakes and waterways, and that particular one is quite shallow. Now they actually built scaffolding from the bottom of the lake bed and they scaled the rock face that way. So it was all carved out by hand using stonemasonry tools. It took 4 years for them to complete it.
Anybody want some photos taken?
Do you want a family photo together?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Thank you.
Okay, no worries. Alrighty. There we go, perfect, we're ready. Are you all together? No? Okay, ready, 1, 2, 3. There you go, you've got a few here, no worries.
That's one of these little
Massive. A lot of work went into that. Bloody hell, that's on the rock.
Yeah. So his tail in it. Oh.
Just young now. No quería comer, Stefan. Niam.
Big tail as well. Just chilling. There's your lizard.
Oh, that looks really good for this thing.
With everybody in it? Okay, we ready? How good's your holiday been? Good? Excellent. We get some real big smiles from Zach how good it's been.
Hold on here.
There we go. No worries. Alright, so I'll get you guys to come up this way. If you stand right in front of the barbecue. Stand in front of the barbecue and I'll see what I can find out.
So this is New Zealand tourists. Taupo, New Zealand. And for all you local people that haven't been able to see this, guys sitting at home in their armchairs retirees, ex-shepherds, bakers, pastry cooks, tailors, you name it. There's all sorts of people out there that may haven't seen this. That's what Google Mo's all about. googlemo.com, capturing the moment. La Point is the suburb above this on Lake Taupo for the elite, for the stardom, for the ones that have got the money, the la-di-da people. Bloody hell, we've got some visitors. Well, we had some visitors. Is that you rocking the boat? No? They belong to you? Yeah. So where are you from?
Brisbane.
Brisbane? What do you think of the carvings? A gimmick or what do you think? They're not like the Aboriginal carvings, you know, from way back.
No, look, I think it's
But it's still
interesting.
indigenous.
It's still,
Indigenous,
that's
yeah.
right. 100 years from now,
It'll rock.
it will be amazing for tourists. won't it?
Yeah.
Just over 100 years ago, there was a number of men spent nearly 3 years prospecting for gold on Mine Point. Despite their best efforts, they never turned up any gold, and so they abandoned their effort. That's Mine Point, it's the other side, and accordingly this is Mine Bay. As we travel across Mine Bay, if you look up onto the siding, the hillside there, you'll start to see a distinctive ledge or plateau, about 50 metres above the lake level. Now that plateau was produced by the lake itself 30,000 years ago. So the lake was up at that level, and geologists seem to think it was just for a short period of time, probably 500 years. And then a seismic event, probably combined with another eruption, dislodged the material that was holding the lake at that level, and it drained away to approximately the level